How's it going, YouTube? What I have for you today is an Inktober sketch. This is a zombie. I typically draw a lot of zombies, and it wouldn't be Inktober without at least one zombie sketch, so that's what I'm doing today. It's pretty generic, nothing too special about it, but figured I'd throw it up on YouTube since I recorded it. So I start with the blue line pencil. This is a blue Coley Race pencil. It's actually light blue. The blue is a little bit darker. So that's typically what I start a lot of my drawings with. Sometimes I'll use a 2H depending on, how, if I'm going to make a print out of it or something, sometimes the blue doesn't erase all the way, and then in that case I'll use a 2H pencil. Here I'm going in with, well, I started with a brush pen, but now I decided to go ahead and do the teeth and the finer details first, because the brush pen I'm using, which is a Kuretake, I believe it's a number 13. The tip on that one's a little worn out, so I don't do fine details with that one anymore. But I went back in, used a finer pen, and then now I'm back to the Kuretake. And this pen's not bad. It's a brush tip. It has a brush tip, sorry, and the bristles are synthetic, not natural hair. And I have it filled with a waterproof ink, and it's pretty good for filling in areas and doing bolder lines. But as far as really fine details, since the brush is a little worn out, I just use it for the larger areas. I'll go into that later because I'm going to do a review on some of Kuretake's products that I use on a regular basis, and I'll include that pen. I've ordered a brand new one so that I can show you the difference between how a new tip handles and an old tip that's kind of used and beat up. So here I'm going in to do some of the heavier shading with a brush tip. This is a Copic marker, just one of their standard black Copic markers. I usually use that for filling in the heavy shadows, because even though this Kuretake handles the larger spaces pretty well, still takes forever. And I disappear here for a minute, I believe, to go get a pen. I have a vintage fountain pen. It's got a gold nib, and I like to use that sometimes, and it's not really, you can tell I haven't used it in a while because I'm trying to start it. But it's a little finicky because it is a vintage pen. It has heavier flow, and so I like to take it out every once in a while and just to kind of play with it and use something different, because I'm an art supply junkie, so I'll use all kinds of different art supplies for different things. And so today I felt like using it and hadn't used it in a while. When it's completely full, it's a great pen. It handles well. It does thick and thin lines, and because of the gold nib, it has a lot of good line variation. Not as good as a dip nib or anything like that, but for a fountain pen, it's pretty good. So I'm just kind of going in, using that, and just doing some of the scratchy details and some of the details in the skin and just some tiny little line work. And then I believe, because I hadn't used it in a while, it got some ink on my fingers and things like that, and so it was kind of, like I said, it's finicky. So I'm throwing in a couple arrows. That way I can, make it look like he got shot. Now I'm going to add a little bit more detail, just some flies and some stuff to the tattered clothing there around the eyes. It needed to be a little bit darker, so added to that. And now I have my Pentel pocket brush that I have filled with some red fountain pen ink. Actually, I mix my own inks. This is a red mixed with, I believe, probably a little bit of black, just so it looks a little bit more like blood, and that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy.